In this video, we are going out to shoot a Porsche 911 Carrera 4 GTS in a crazy bright yellow color. And we got up at an ungodly hour to make this shoot happen. But I figured that this was the perfect opportunity to showcase to you guys some of my favorite lenses right now by Sirui. And these lenses absolutely make the image look beautiful. They have so much character to them, and they bring those little flares in, like whether you're shooting headlights or the sun or something's just peeking in the side. It looks absolutely gorgeous. So let's get out and we'll shoot the Porsche 911. You guys can be the judges for yourself whether you like the image on this lens, and then we'll come back to the office and talk about why this pairing is so amazing.
It is very, very early in the morning, but we've got a Porsche to shoot. Exhaust doesn't sound like too bad, but when you're in the car, it's really quiet. So we need to get a new one. If I'm being entirely honest, I don't actually know what I'm shooting today. I just got a call from the guys over at Porsche, and when you get the call from the people at Porsche, you go, you get up. Even if they say meet at 5:45 a.m. on a Saturday. We'll do crazy things for cars.
So to start the morning, we showed up at Porsche at 5:45. So I met Daniel, who works at Porsche, and Carter, who was another photographer, so we could do rollers. As you guys know, we need 3 people for rollers. So we took turns driving, shooting, and driving the Porsche as well.
Just finished capturing some rollers. Now it's my time to drive. Oh, these cars, they just never get old.
If you guys like the look of this type of editing, you guys can check out my car photography presets in the description below. I'm always giving you guys discounts, so go check that out.
There's really only like 2 things that's gonna get me up in the morning: coffee and Porsches. It's funny how as car photographers we'll do like anything to get good shots, even if it means waking up at 5 in the morning. It's just crazy. Today we came out and we're shooting this beautiful Porsche 911 GTS. This thing sounds amazing, it drives beautifully. Obviously we wanted to get out really early so we could get the best time of day, and it worked perfectly because I wanted to show you guys some of these anamorphic lenses that I was sent by Sirui.
Now, if you guys remember, last year I went down to Phoenix and shot with this lens, and I absolutely fell in love with it while I was shooting the Mercedes-Benz GTS. But that was when I was with the Canon ecosystem. With the Lumix, these lenses are even better because they have a special feature called Open Gate, which we are using right now. So we'll get into that a little bit near the end of the video. One thing that lens had an issue with was how close the focal distance would allow you. You could only go within 3 feet of your minimum focusing distance, which meant getting up close to subjects was actually quite difficult. So that's why they sent me this lens, which is a 150mm full frame anamorphic lens, and this thing actually has an even shorter minimum focusing distance than the 35mm does, but that kind of solves the problem. If you're trying to get in close to details, this lens has you covered. Pairing these 2 lenses together on this shoot gave me a ton of options, whether I was hanging out the car getting the rolling shots with the 35mm or capturing the details with the 150. Both of these lenses offer you that character that not a standard lens will give you. You get those lens flares, and these ones are the natural color flares. You can also get them in blue, but I wanted it to just kind of reflect and react to the light that was in the scene rather than kind of give that blue hue like you might get from like the Transformers stuff, for example. Now, there's obviously a big weight difference between these. This is a nice tiny 35mm. This is a great lens if you guys are looking to get into the anamorphic space. Really highly recommend the 35mm. And the 150, this is an incredibly powerful lens. I love that they gave you that really close minimum focusing distance. Makes it a very practical, very usable lens. The only thing that I realized was difficult to use about this lens is it is big, and the farther your focal length goes, the harder it is to keep these things stable. So even though the Lumix has incredible in-body image stabilization, I still found the footage to be quite shaky. Of course, I was hanging out of a car trying to handheld get footage with this. So when I started shooting my new car, which if you guys haven't seen that video, you can view it up there, I put this on a tripod and then it made for more usable footage, but it still makes it a bit more difficult. Of course, you can't win all things, especially at such a cost-effective price point like Sirui keeps their lenses. Both of these lenses offer you a T2.9, which is essentially the aperture, or your f-stop is T2.9, and that lets a lot of light in. We've got an 82mm thread on the 150, so you can easily get your ND filters or CPL filters onto this thing. Now that I'm in the Lumix ecosystem, the fact that they shoot what is called open gate using the entire width and height of the sensor. When I was shooting with the Canon R6 with these lenses, you're already locked into a 16:9 format. So then when you go to bring that 1.6 times squeeze, your footage is very, very skinny. It doesn't take up a whole lot of the frame. The beauty of shooting with the Lumix open gate, for example, is you can shoot using that whole width of the camera sensor, and then when you squish that down, it still just looks incredibly cinematic, but you're not overly skinny, and it's still very usable, very beautiful footage. And then if you need to, you can still crop into that image and kind of fill up the frame anyways. You'll lose the edges, but that's okay. You're still getting all the beautiful characteristics that you can get from the anamorphic lens while still maintaining that full kind of picture quality. This is a feature that I never really took full advantage of in the Lumix, but now that I have these anamorphic lenses, I'm seeing it's really highly valuable. And again, really allowing me to actually pick these lenses up more than I thought I would. Sirui also sent along this cage for me, which fits really nicely on the Lumix S5 II and the S5 IIX. And then this is how I was able to actually mount the camera onto my car. So you have multiple mounting positions that you can get this thing on there. I think the thing that we all think about when we're getting into, let's call it stylistic lenses like this, is how expensive are they and how much are we gonna actually practically use them? I didn't know I would be using these lenses as much as I am. Now that, of course, they have such a small form factor, and if you pair it with this, you get that closer minimum focusing distance. What more do you need to tell a great story, whether you're shooting wide or getting in tight to get those details or the emotion if you're capturing a story? These are great lenses paired together. Price-wise, they're actually pretty reasonable as well. This 150, they are currently just releasing right now, so I'll put the pricing here for you guys so you can see what the early bird pricing is going to be, and I'll leave links down for you guys in the description so you guys can go check them out as well. I think they keep these very reasonable for us to get into a more interesting, higher quality lens that gives us that characteristic that we don't get from our standard lenses. I honestly didn't anticipate that I'd become such a big Lumix fan, coming from Sony when I started, then to Canon, and then getting into what is essentially one of the most cost-effective camera bodies in the market, and really falling in love with how capable these cameras are with all of the pro features. It's pretty incredible. Paired with these really fun Sirui lenses, I love it. It's actually kind of helping me to enjoy filmmaking again, trying out different angles, trying to hit those lens flares, and waking up super early, it totally sucks. Like, I am not a morning person at all, but that way we were able to keep the sun low and get those lens flares in the shots. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you have any anamorphic lenses? Have you dove into anything like that? What do you guys think is the lens that you use the most or would want to try in anamorphic? These are a lot of fun. Before you buy anything, do a ton of research. Make sure that you guys check all your options. These are the ones that I have really enjoyed using. Of course, Sirui has sent me these lenses, but they are not paying me anything to say anything about these lenses. They just wanted me to make you guys aware that they're available and that they're great and they're fun. If you guys are in the RF space with your Canon, let me know. This is the RF one. Hit me up on Instagram if you guys are looking to get a cost-effective carbon fiber anamorphic full frame lens. As always, guys, I appreciate your time so much. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, come hit me up on Instagram and let me know that you saw this video. I always appreciate chatting with you guys. And hopefully we will see you in the next video where we're talking about using an iPhone gimbal versus a camera gimbal, and can you make the same great content? We'll see you guys there. Peace.